Okay, so imagine this. A lost manuscript from one of the greatest minds in history, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, suddenly surfaces. But it's not another play or some long-lost poem. It's something way more personal, way more profound. It's his secret vision of what happens after we die. This is the incredible story of the Book of Passages. Right off the bat, the manuscript just throws our most fundamental assumption out the window. It asks us to seriously consider a wild idea. What if death isn't the final curtain call we all think it is? And instead of, eternal rest or some final judgment, this text proposes something completely different. It suggests that the afterlife is actually a place where we continue to labor, a place for a new kind of creative striving. So this text was apparently discovered as just a fragment, a piece of a puzzle among his papers. And it frames the afterlife not as a finish line, but as the next, absolutely necessary stage of our development. It's a secret work that continues the whole process of becoming who we're meant to be. The story follows a figure that the text just calls the Wanderer, right as he wakes up after his own death. And he doesn't find himself in heaven or hell, but in this strange, totally disorienting new existence that he calls the middle realm. The Wanderer is immediately struggling. The words he knows just don't fit. This new reality is so alien that earthly language completely fails him. He starts to realize he's not in a place that exists around him. It's more like the landscape itself is somehow existing through him. I mean, the physics of this place are just mind-bending. Your very sense of self becomes permeable. And get this, even your thoughts aren't really your own. They're described as passing through you, kind of like light through a stained glass window. They pick up your unique color, but they don't start with you. And this leads him to this radical new understanding of the soul. It's not a static thing, not some substance you carry around. No, the soul is a function. It's a unique pattern, a particular style of processing reality. It's a way of being. So, if you're not there to rest on a cloud, what in the world are you supposed to be doing? Well, the manuscript's answer is simple and profound: the work. This is the whole purpose of the middle realm, a new kind of labor that's focused on the very patterns of existence itself. Now, to make this idea a little more concrete, the text uses a concept from Goethe's actual real life, the Erbpflanze, or the archetypal plant. See, Goethe believed there was a fundamental blueprint, a kind of generative template that all plants were just variations of. Well, in the afterlife, souls get to work directly on these kinds of archetypal patterns. But here's the really cool part. This work is not a one-way street. It's a totally reciprocal process. A soul focuses on a pattern, say the very essence of flowering, and works to refine it. But in doing that, the pattern itself refines the soul. It is a simultaneous transformation. The goal isn't just to make better patterns for the material world down below. The goal is to produce more developed souls, souls that are refined and elevated through their service to creation. Okay, so this individual labor is all part of something much, much bigger. The manuscript zooms the camera way out to reveal this vast cosmic architecture, where the entire universe isn't some static, finished thing. It's a cosmos in a constant state of becoming. So the model for all existence isn't a straight line from birth to death and then some final reward. It's a continuous spiral, always returning, but always at a slightly higher, more developed level. Think of it like a spiral staircase you're always climbing. And this cosmic spiral is driven by two huge movements. First, you have these archetypal patterns descending down into the physical world. That's incarnation. That's where they gain the density and richness of specific, tangible experience. Then you have consciousness ascending back up out of matter into the middle realm, bringing all that messy, beautiful experience with it to help refine the original patterns for the next cycle. But here's the kicker. Participation is not mandatory. Every soul faces this profound choice. You can either engage in the work and continue your development up the spiral, or you can refuse. And to refuse is to crystallize, to become a static fixture, frozen in time. You persist, but you don't really live. It's described as a death within death. So this huge cosmic vision leads to a pretty stunning reevaluation of our own lives, right here on Earth. What's the point of all this struggle, all these limitations we face every day? And here it is. This might be the manuscript's most powerful, game-changing takeaway. Our physical lives, our embodiment, it wasn't a punishment. It wasn't a step down from some purer spiritual state. It was a necessary, vital, and incredible achievement, a crucible that was designed for a very specific purpose. So, what does all this mean for us right now? Well, this vision suggests that all the frustrations and the resistance of the material world, they aren't punishments. They are the exact conditions we need to build the strengths for the work that comes next. The striving is the point. And every single skill we genuinely master, every capacity we truly develop, it's eternal. We are literally in training for what comes next. And that leaves us with this final echoing question. If the capacities we build in this one life are the very tools we'll use for the rest of eternity, what work, what passions, what skills, what ways of being is truly worth our time?